For is in town. Entertainment at its peak, information at its width, education at its best. Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. News, talk, and music.
All right, good afternoon, our dear listeners. It's a beautiful afternoon right here in the city of Ibadan. Broadcasting live from the studio of Omoluwabi Radio at 7.7 FM. You're welcome to today's edition of Campus Gist on Omoluwabi Radio. What we'll do on the show is we'll bring you a rundown of activities of everything that's happened in the Nigerian education sector from the past week and keep you up to speed and make you aware of the things that are happening. You know, it's quite difficult to stay updated. Sometimes we find it quite hard to stay up to date with some of these happenings and some of these updates. So that's what we'll do on the show every Saturday from 4:15 to 5 o'clock p.m. We bring you updates and we'll bring you up to speed on everything that has happened in the Nigerian educational sector. And today's edition of the show, it will not be any different because we have a number of news for you this evening. And if you're a first-time listener, my name is Elijah Lanrewaju Akintande. My people call me Larry Akintande. And that's if you have not been hearing. For those who have been hearing already, you already know the voice of the person you're listening to. Just simply call me Larry Akintande. And once again, I welcome you to Campus Gist on Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. So on today's edition of the show, I'll be bringing you up to speed on some of the things that happened. And today we'll be talking about some updates regarding the student loan. And also, you know, we are almost towards the admission period. I'll bring you up to speed on some of the things, some of the schools who have opened their portal and are beginning to receive applications for admission, and also some other updates. But then let's start with some news coming from Lagos. Earlier in the week, I'm sure you would have seen a video of some students of Federal College of Education in Akoka destroying some school properties over, should I say students? Let me just say them, let me call them some persons in the institution destroying some vehicles, some luxurious vehicles, destroying the whole thing, and it was a really, really huge crisis. And while some said it's due to the protests going or something like that, but I want to just come and update you that it is an entirely different issue. And the provost of the school has come out to say that personal interests are behind the cause for my removal. That's the provost of the Federal College of Education in Akoka, Technical in Akoka, Lagos State. Dr. Wahab Aziz said those calling for his removal from office had personal interest. He said those behind the crisis are doing it to frustrate me so that I can resign. But I stand for justice, Aziz told the news agency of Nigeria in Lagos. NAN reports that a lingering protest in the college turned violent on Tuesday, resulting in the closure of the institution by the federal government. The protest was made by some students and staff of the college. Can you imagine? This is the first time I'll be hearing this. I understand that students are always protesting, but for the first time ever, we are seeing staffs of an institution protest. Okay, this must be really serious anyway. It says some aggrieved member of staff of the institution had been calling for the removal of the provost, who they claimed elongated his tenure. He said the institution has been shut off and students asked to vacate the campus. NAN reports that the leadership crisis started in May when some aggrieved staff under the aegis of concerned staff claimed that the tenure of the provost has ended, asking him to step down. They said the provost was appointed in 2019 for a 4-year term and it elapsed on May 26, 2024. According to them, President Bola Tinubu in June 2023 signed a new law pegging the tenure of provost of colleges of education at a single term of 5 years. However, as this claimed the law did not affect him, the provost said that he had already started the second term in office before the law was signed. Some students, teaching and non-teaching staff of the college on Tuesday, staged a violent protest when members of the college's governing council, led by Dr. Adenuga Olatunde, were to hold a meeting with both parties in the conflict. The protesters destroyed some official cars, insisting that Aziz should not enter the college's premises. That's just the update on what happened. While the provost is saying that it is due to some personal reasons that they are fighting against him, that is just the update on everything that's happened. And that is to tell you, our listeners, that it is in no way related to the ongoing protests that we are seeing currently in the country. Moving on to some other news coming from Lagos. This one is coming from Lagos State University. The story says that the Lagos State University has suspended student union elections. Following the nationwide protest which started on Thursday, Lagos State University, LASU, Lagos State University of Science and Technology have directed their students and staff to be safety conscious. Mrs. Oluwayemisi Thomas Onoshile, Coordinator, Center for Information and Public Relations of LASU, as well as Mr. David Ogumbe, Registrar of LASU Tech, made this known in separate statements in Lagos. Thomas Onoshile said that LASU directed his staff and students to stay off campus as a strategy to safeguard lives and property. Against this background, the Lagos State University Students' Union General Election, scheduled to commence initially on Thursday, has now been suspended until further notice. For further information on resumption and social, academic, and administrative activities in the university will be provided in due course, she said. She also furthered that LASU management urged all members of the university community to remain calm and stay safe during the nationwide protest. In a statement issued, Ogumbe stated that LASU Tech management assured the staff and students of adequate security arrangements on all the university campuses to enable them to continue with their legitimate activities. Now, still on the issue of Lagos State, we have some other news coming from the University of Lagos. The University of Lagos has indefinitely suspended its examination, and also they have announced a suspension of the examination that has been shifted forward also till further notice due to this ongoing protest. It says that the University of Lagos Akoka has postponed all examinations scheduled to hold on Thursday and Friday, that is August 1st and 2nd, till further notice. The university is currently in the middle of the second semester examinations for the 2023-2024 academic session and postponed all the papers scheduled for the 2 days indefinitely, sequel to the planned nationwide protest scheduling to commence on Thursday. The planned peaceful protest, which is tagged End Bad Governance, has become a subject of controversy, and that's the reason why the school suspended its examinations indefinitely. It has been silent for other days whether they should be held or continue the exam. They've been contemplating on whether they should hold the exam as scheduled or whether they should postpone it. But then, seeing the way things turned out, the school have decided that, okay, let us suspend this exam until further notice and let's see how things go. So we are waiting on updates from the University of Lagos and also Lagos State University to give updates to the students on when they will hold, on when LASU, in their own case, will hold their election, and also in the case of Unilag, when they would continue their examinations. Now, moving on to some other things. This one is moving on. We are moving away from Lagos. We are coming back. We're coming down to Oyo State, and this story is coming from Oyo State, saying that the Oyo State government has has announced the start, or should I say, the commencement of bursary for students. Now, before I come to Oyo State, I have one more story to take in Lagos, and this one is also coming from Lagos State University. The story says that 3 billion students from the Lagos State University, LASU, have emerged victorious in a national competition. It says jubilation as LASU beats ABU, wins 2024 national debate competition. The story says that the competition had 4 stages, which were keenly contested by undergraduate students from over 20 law faculties across 4 regions of Nigeria. The story says further that the annual competition, previously designed for law students, was open to all undergraduate students across accredited faculties in Nigeria this year. As reported by Vanguard, the final round was between LASU, Timberi, and Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, and that's called Team Sapphire, which with last represented by Oladipo Olalekan, speaker, Ajeniya Oluwagbemiga, and Muse, help them build their courage, their confidence, amongst other things. And it will help them position themselves ahead of their peers. Imagine someone who is in national competition, and would you compare that person to someone who can barely just face their colleagues in classroom for presentation or whatever it is that may be? So this is a really huge one, and we say again that we commend the organizers, and we really look forward to more things like this, because we can really use a lot of this in the country. Enough of us having having entertainment programs alone. We need some of these to develop our capacity, and we are looking forward to more of these. Well, we still have a lot of things to give you this evening, and we'll be, as I mentioned earlier, we'll be talking about the update on the student loan fund, and also about the bursary in some states, and also about some schools that have opened their portals for application for the 2024-2025 academic session. We have a lot of that for you this evening. But before we do that, let's go on this quick musical break as we take this one by Young John titled Disconnect. Don't go anywhere, we will be right back.
Lókè la mama lọ. Blessings on blessings. Mo fẹ́ máa rí lójoojúmọ́. If you get the woman, make you hold her tight. Cause if she come outside, he's gone. Nobody worry me, Joe. And I want to jai it down. That trip, Louis Vuitton. Mo fẹ́ ra helicopter gunny. Shout out to my mommy. Young forever, lọ́mọ náà. The only thing I want is cash and alafia. Oh no, disconnect. Yeah, I don't disconnect. Anybody who ain't no line, bad belly they one side. I did thank God I survive. Multi disconnect. Yeah, I don't disconnect. Anybody who ain't no line, bad belly they one side. I did thank God I survive. Survival of the fittest, I can never be defeated. Oh shit, oh Jumi many, oh Jumi many, oh shit. Better decide, better decide, better decide, better decide. Gee, nobody worry me, Joe. And I want to jai it down. Damn trip, Louis Vuitton. Mo fẹ́ ra helicopter gunny. Shout out to my mommy. Young forever, lọ́mọ náà. The only thing I want is cash and alafia. Oh no, disconnect. Yeah, I don't disconnect. Anybody who ain't no line, bad belly they one side. I did thank God I survive. Multi disconnect. Yeah, I don't disconnect. Anybody who ain't no line, bad belly they one side. I did thank God I survive.
Alright, you're welcome back to the show, and the song you just finished listening to was Disconnect by Young John. Before I went to that musical break, I mentioned that I'll be giving you updates on the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, how much has been disbursed, and who has been the biggest recipient of this fund. Nelfund has released a particular infographic detailing the number of schools that emerge as the highest earners. Should I say, let me call them highest earners. The six top schools in Nigeria that has received the highest amount of loan, that their students have become the beneficiaries of this loan. But before I mention that, I have to update you that during the course of the week, Nelfund has announced that it has disbursed about 1.17 billion naira to Nigerian students for the school fees, should I say tuition fee of 20,000 students across various institutions in the country. The management of Nigerian Education Loan Fund, Nelfund, said it has disbursed the sum of 1.17 billion naira to 20,000 students in various institutions across the country. The managing director of the agency, Akintunde Sawyer, disclosed this during a press conference in Abuja on Wednesday. He said the institutions were carefully selected based on their academic calendar. Disbursement to other institutions will be made at the beginning of their session to provide a transparent and equitable distribution of resources. He added that within the selected institutions, a total of 11,083 students are the beneficiaries who applied for the loans, and their tuition was paid 100%. He said this financial aid will enable them to focus on their studies without the added burden of financial worry. It is our belief that by investing in these students, we are investing in the future of Nigeria. Mr. Sawyer added that in addition to the tuition fees, the university will provide upkeep stipends to the beneficiaries, with the payment process set to commence in the coming week. He says that the managing director said that to ensure transparency and accountability, the agency is working with various organizations, including the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, State Security Services, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, and Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offenses Commission. Okay. To ensure transparency and accountability, let me take that again. For those of you who are planning to take student loan for ulterior motives or for you have other plans for the loan, let me take that again. It says that the managing director of NELFON said that they are working with the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, that's NFIU, State Security Services, that's SSS, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offenses Commission, ICPC. It emphasized that the collaboration with these organizations aims to minimize any potential leakage and to prosecute any wrongdoing swiftly and effectively. All parties in the value chain are committed to upholding the highest standard of integrity and accountability. By doing so, we aim to build and maintain the trust of all stakeholders involved in this initiative, he added. Meanwhile, NELFON has also announced plans to launch new skills training programs, which the managing director noted are aimed at empowering young Nigerians with the required skills to excel. He said, "We'll be launching a new series of skills training programs in the coming weeks. These programs are designed to empower Nigerians with the knowledge and expertise needed to excel." So let me give you a quick summary of the story I just gave you right now. It says that NELFON has paid out 1.17 billion for the tuition fee of some students, about 20,000 students across several institutions in the country. According to the NELFON management, they are saying that these fees we are paid, it is not that we are being biased to some institutions or to other ones. It is just simply based on the fact that those institutions, their academic calendar tallies with the current payment, so they can make the payments now. For the institutions that have not received money, NELFON is saying that when your school resumes, or maybe when you start reading your academic calendar, they will make the payments. So for those who have not received any fund, that is the update for you right now. And NELFON is also saying that in addition to the tuition fee that has been paid 100% for the people that have been paid, they have paid their tuition fee 100%. Okay, it seems this is really coming out well. I mean, what do you think? It's really coming out well if we must say that for your tuition fee to be paid, though it's a loan anyway, but then we must also say that it is a no interest loan. I mean, you're not paying any interest for this loan, you're just collecting it. You are paying 2 years after you complete your NYS. That is when you begin to start paying this loan. Well, alongside the tuition fee payment, NELFON is saying that they will also be paying stipend to students, that alongside this tuition fee that we also need to give you money to survive. In as much as we want to pay your tuition fee, we need to also give you money for you to survive as student, because imagine paying your tuition fee and you cannot survive the school. How will it feel that you are not owing school fees, but then do you have what it takes to survive the institution? So that's a really good development coming from NELFON. I mean, the fact that we are hearing that they started the disbursement. Still on the disbursement issue, NELFON announced yesterday that it will continue the disbursement, that it has not ended, despite the fact that it has, now all of the loans it has paid out now as of right now, as of fresh time, it has reached 2.5 billion naira that it has given to students. That is about 22,120 students have received the sum of 2.5 billion naira from NELFON. The story says that in alignment with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's commitment to enhancing educational opportunities for Nigerians, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund NELFON has continued the disbursement of substantial student loans to institutions and students nationwide. In the light of the foregoing, NELFON has so far approved student loans amounting now to over 2,530,235,750 naira, being disbursed across many institutions, benefiting 22,120 students. This strategic aim hopes to ensure that students who really need the funds can continue their education by lowering burden of financial constraint. So far, 6 of 12 institutions have received full payment of their institutional fees, covering over 20,000 students. The total amount disbursed to the institution stand at approximately 2 billion and 26 million naira, 163,314 naira. A further 6 will receive their payments in the coming week. This disbursement will ensure that Nigerian students can proceed with their academic activities unimpeded, fostering peace of mind much needed for these students and their families. In addition to the institutional fees, NESFund has also commenced the payment of upkeep to students. The initiative will provide essential financial support for living expenses. A total of 442,400,000 has been allocated for the month of July. So I guess the stipend is on a monthly basis. As much as the loan fund, that's the NEL fund, will pay your school fee for the session. They'll also be giving they'll be giving you a stipend to survive every month, and they have said they are paid the one of July. That is amounts to about 442,400,000 has been allocated for the month of July. The upkeep payment will benefit all 22,120 students across the 12 institutions, with more to come in the coming weeks and months, reflecting the federal government's commitment to the overall well-being and academic success of Nigerian students in government institutions. That's that. Now, I mentioned I'll be giving you a breakdown of some of the institutions that have received the highest amount of money. Remember that they have said that NELFund said that about 12 institutions have been verified and they are qualified to receive the loan right now, but they have only paid 6 amongst them. So I'll be giving you a breakdown of these 6 institutions that have received the money and how much their students have received. Please note that it is not these institutions that received the money, but instead these are tuition fees of students that were paid for by the federal government on behalf of the student anyway. Let me put it that way. So indirectly it's the schools that received the money, but it's the federal government that made the payment and not the students. So if we might put it that way. Now, some of the schools we have on this list are University of Ilorin, University of Benin, University of Maiduguri, University of Ibadan, Bayero University Kano, and Federal University Dutsima. And let me give you a quick rundown of how much all of these institutions collected for tuition fee for their students. Now, for the University of Ilorin, they have received tuition fee amounting to about 52,897,890 naira only. That is what University of Ilorin has received for tuition for each student. University of Benin in Edo State has received 24,412,500 naira only. Let me take that again. For University of Benin, it says they have received 24,412,500 naira only. And also for University of Maiduguri in Borno State, their students have gotten their tuition fee paid amounting to about 589,001,500 naira only. And coming that still in the north, this one is coming from the Federal University Dutsima. It says that the school has received 304,961,800 naira only. Federal University Dutsima, they have received 304,961,800 naira only. Still in the north, this one is coming from Kano. Bayero University Kano has received 853,775,000 naira only. I'll take that again. Bayero University Kano has received 853,775,000 naira only. And now coming down to Southwest here in our own school here in Oyo State, University of Ibadan has received 201,114,650 naira only. I'll take that again. University of Ibadan has received 201,114,650 naira only. From the list I have here with me, I can see that the school with the highest amount that has received the highest amount of fund is the Bayero University Kano, receiving over 853 million naira, and followed by University of Maiduguri with 589 million naira. Then we have Federal University Dutsima that has received 304 million, should I say approximately 305 million naira. Then after that we have University of Ibadan at about 201 million naira. Then we have University of Ilorin at 52.8 million. And the University of Benin, being the lowest on this list, on this current list, It might increase in future, but as of right now, University of Benin has received 24.4 million naira as student loan payment for tuition fee of students in their institutions. Talking about funding and loan and all of these things, we are coming down to Oyo State about how the Oyo State government has opened bursary for students. So now, as much as we are getting a loan from the federal government, the Oyo State government is also saying that we are also giving you bursary to support your study. The Oyo State Scholarship Board has launched the 2024-2025 Bursary Award program for final year undergraduates, HND, clinical aviation, and maritime students. Maritime students. It says that this development was reviewed in a post by the state government on Saturday, July 27. That was last week. So what is required? What are the requirements that you need? You must, as an applicant, you must submit your application by on or before August 31st, 2024, at least not more than 11:59 p.m. that night. Required documents include a scanned copy of your admission letter. That's for those of you who are interested in your state bursary program. You need what are things you need. You need your admission letter, local government identification, current course registration form, and passport photographs. To apply, the application process consists of 3 straightforward steps. You have to prepare and upload the necessary document. You have to create an application, then you submit. That's the only thing you have to do. Prepare your documents, scan them because you will have to upload all of these documents, and create an application, then you submit online. After reviewing, successful applicants will be announced, and recipients will receive their awards accordingly. The engineer Asheyi Makindele administration, however, expressed dedication to providing functional and qualitative education, enhancing the state standard of state-owned educational institutions, and improving academic performance. And it says that that is coming from Oyo State government anyway, and that is what we have for you concerning the bursary of Oyo State government. So for those who are interested, you can simply go and apply for it, and you can check it out on social media and see how to apply for Oyo State government bursary to know how you can apply and be a partaker. And I guess this is only applicable to those who are of Oyo State origin and in various schools. And I think it's not only for the schools in Oyo. If Oyo State indigene in other institutions, you can also apply, and you might likely be among the lucky ones. Let me put it that way. And still on the issue of funding for students, because in as we say that education is important. One of the limitations we have seen on the issue of education is that most students have the issue of getting funding, and it has really become a big issue that we've seen several students complaining about their should I say the ability to drop out of school because they do not have the required funding, and it sometimes limits their prowess, limits their should I say their performances and how far they can go in life. So as much as we are saying that students need to focus, we also need to get the right funding for them. That's the only way for them to be focused on their studies and to excel excellently. Anyway, we still have more to give you. When we come back from this musical break, I'll give you update on some of the schools that have opened their portals that are now receiving application for the 2024-2025 admission session. Don't go anywhere. Campus News will be right back.
It's Kelpie vibes. S'appelle water chaque passing. Back with first impression. Many blessings so tout il est con. Oh ya qu'il est fait so nothing. That's what I thought. Body to be wa poko otilo. We finna pack up some more. Emi ti mo like in my faji kan. Ti o baby my loco so fo. Another one more to teach me. New sound designed by Kelpie. Poolside sipping on Perry. All the fine girls want fake up body. I call them motivation for my man them up. Change your status, them no go reach us. Destiny number oh yeah, this is the life I chose. This is the life I chose. I am who I am. This is the life I chose. This is the life I chose. This is the life I chose. I am who I am. This is the life I chose. All of a sudden, everybody act like they love me. Men they active. If you my team is risky. If no be you, baba. Therefore, don't they like me for their corner? Shout out to me, I stay believing. Every day is a payday. Amen. Another one more to teach me. New sound designed by Girl B. Poolside sipping on berry. All the fine girls want fake on body. Call 'em up, motivation for my man, them up. Change your status, them no go reach us. Destined and body. Oh yeah, this is the life I chose. This is the life I chose. I am Mohajeya. This is the life I chose. This is the life I chose. This is the life I chose. I am Mohajeya. This is the life I chose.
You welcome back to the show, and this is still Campus Gist. You're listening to on Omoluwabi Radio at 7.7 FM, broadcasting live from Mokola Hill in Ibadan, the ancient city with the brown roof. I mean, some people can still call it that anyway. And if you're a first-time listener, this is a show where we'll bring you up to speed on everything that is happening in the Nigerian education sector. And if you're not a first-time listener but you're just joining, well, anyway, you still have some things to meet. You have not entirely missed the show. We still have some things that you will still enjoy as part of the show. Before we are planning to leave this show soon anyway, we'll be leaving in some minutes. Before we go, let me give you updates on some institutions that have released their cutoff mark for students who have applied to this institution to study in any of this institution. And on this list here I have with me, why this list is not exhaustive, and it is only ones that are currently available as of right now. I mean, as of press time, these are the schools that are currently available. And on this list, we have Lagos. We have the University of Lagos. Then we also have Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. Then we also have University of Ibadan that have released they have opened their portal for applications. That means as students, you can now begin to apply. That is, if you pick them during the last examination, and if you did not pick them, you can easily go and do a change of course. That is, if it's still active right now, you can do a change of institution or change of course to pick the school and see if your chances might be increased. That is, if you meet their cutoff mark or any of their requirements. Now, coming from Lagos, that's University of Lagos, it has announced post-UTME screening and eligibility criteria. The authorities of University of Lagos Akoka have announced the commencement of online registration for this year's post-UTME screening for prospective students seeking admission into all 8 undergraduate courses and programs under the 2024-2025 admission year. The university has also spelled out the criteria for those who are eligible for screening as well as for admission. According to the acting registrar, he said that only students, the application will be available at the cost of 2,000 naira and we start on Monday 5th, that is in 2 days' time, start on Monday 5th and end on Friday 23rd of August. While post-UTME online aptitude tests we hold between Monday 2nd September and Friday 6th of September. He said candidates who majorly lacked their first choice in the last UTME and scored 200 and above are those eligible to apply for the screening. In addition to that, eligible candidates must possess 5 credit passes at one sitting in relevant O-level courses. I mean, they are being particular about it at one sitting. That means you cannot use combined results for them. So that they must do all of these things and must upload their O-level results on JAMB's Central Admission Processing System, that's CAPS, on or before the 9th of September 2024 to be considered for admission. It says that candidates who will not be up to 16 years of age by 31st of October 2024 are not eligible. I think the new minimum age that the federal government introduced is beginning to take effect right now. So they will not be admitted, not be eligible for admission, and therefore they do not need to apply because they will not be able to participate. And also, those who do not participate in the post-UTME online aptitude test will also not be considered for the examination, for the admission. And another requirement is that former students of the university whose admission were withdrawn on the basis of poor academic performance or absent status could reapply on condition that the new admission should be for a new program or course different from the former program or their course. And it says that any student expelled from the university cannot be offered fresh admission, and anyone tested positive for that courses, biological science, and then we have other faculties that may be in the school. And I'll just give you a quick rundown on some of these cutoff marks. While they are, some of them are similar. I guess for the faculty of agriculture, their base cutoff mark is around 170. While for the faculty of engineering and technology courses, we have their base cutoff mark at 200, except for food engineering, which the cutoff mark is at 170. Now, moving on to another faculty, faculty of environmental sciences, their cutoff mark is also at 200, except for building, which has 170, and estate management